Morning, fam. October fig update. I've been eating figs and not posting about them with some travels mixed in there, so I haven't been able to do much, but everything's slowing down in October. You still have some, like my sal tray I cut down to the ground because it was dormant, and I use a lot of cuttings, and I'm doing a growth here, right? So I don't want it to feel mature. I want it to feel immature when it wakes up. And then it needs to put out a lot of growth, which may in turn not provide a lot of fruit, but it was doing neither before. And I know the soil's good here. So chopping it down, doing what I did over here to Paradiso, taking it down to the ground, and literally seeing the most growth I've seen ever in 1 year. Now that its root system is established. Eventually I've decided on this trunk here to be the new base. But yeah, this is all 1 year of growth, guys. So if you really want to stimulate growth, you got trees in the ground, take it down to the ground, let it do a reset year. If that root ball and that root system is established, it'll pay itself off. Versus if you do the bonsai effect and wait slowly. Now, the benefit of bonsaiing your tree, and that's just a term for, you know, annual prunage, is you get a great tree like this, like Figo Preto, which also likes to grow in this fashion. But this thing is still pumping out fruit. It's lost all its leaves, but it can still photosynthesize with the fruit, is what I've learned. But yeah, it's just ripening away. I'm in organza bagging them up. I'm gonna harvest some here. This one's nice and soft. Pops right off. I had another one over here. Beautiful fig, right? There you go. It's been 70s here. That one could use another day. It's pretty soft. Oh, look at this one. If you want to take a good look, there's some nice honey in the eye, nice and soft and plump. Let's go ahead and pop her off. Unbelievable fig. Just because of how the term that's often used for a great fig, precocious, and how flavorful it is. Everyone's got to have one. And now I meant to post a video earlier that these can dry on the tree here in North Carolina. If you don't get rain, we get drier times here in September, October, when there's not a hurricane. When the heat burns off, the humidity goes away, it dries out. And I had one the other day that was just nice and jammy on the tree. So don't get me wrong, figs do split in the Southeast, but depending on when your fig ripens, you may want to give it a go. Always having a Figo Preto or a later ripening variety that needs dry heat, because you might hit that September, October window where it's warm and dry. You can ripen. Smith didn't really have a great year. This will be its new main trunk. I'm going to correct it, and I'm going to take that down to the ground. I'm air layering some. It did ripen a few, which were good. Bourgeois Noir, or Violet de Soleil, I think I actually bought it as a Violet de Soleil, is actually ripening figs now. They take many more days to ripen on the tree. So this is kind of like my detractor of squirrels and such. So they'll all go to this tree if it spares the other trees. It's still a really tasty variety. It will split, but it grows like crazy and it's really tasty. So I keep it in the ground. Bourgeois Gris is almost totally asleep. Now we have, if they go dormant, if they fruit in August and such, they'll go dormant by September once all their fruit's done. But we have such a long growing season here that so these early varieties will wake back up. Like here's my Peter's honey. or my Stella will wake back up, which sometimes requires extra pruning if that wood that it creates does not lignify by winter. If anybody doesn't know what lignification is, it's the hardening of the wood from that soft green plant fiber into a brown bark layer. So lignification. That'll keep it hardy through the winter. Unctorama has a nice little sucker here that I can propagate. You really got to let this one sit on the tree, otherwise it tastes very melony and not sweet, but they're small and it ripens first out of everything. So I tend to keep her here. And then what I'm not talking about, what is awesome, is my greenhouse. Key to a good greenhouse, the foundation. Countersunk, filled in with gravel. Let's give it a go. It's already got up to about 113 on an 85-degree day, so gotta stay on top of that, when to vent, when not. But let's open up the doors here. You guys can see inside. I'm gonna widescreen it for you. Whoop. All right, lab table. I'm a scientist, so having a lab table is key for all methods. I propagated a bunch thus far here. And I just grabbed all these Celestes. They're still a really good variety in the Southeast, so I like to provide them. My neighbor has a huge tree, so I don't bother growing it myself. He has only thousands of figs. But you can see all my varieties here. They're all starting to wake up. I use a little bit of rooting hormone. I use very porous, mild soil. A lot of this is mixed compost on my own, but I just got some bag stuff from my local hydroponics store. But he has a bunch of craft material. This is the Organic Care True Earth. It's OMRI listed. He said it's mild enough that it's good for cuttings and propagation. I will mix it in here, give it some moisture with some, I actually have some rooting hormone powder in there, and let it air out a little bit. But for my medium, what I do is, and I'll post a picture, is I scour it with this. I wrap the top half for moisture protection with my paraffin wax. And then I've been using take root, so I dip the scoured bottom into this, and it's trusty. The other one I'm going to try is Fertilome, and I'm going to do a side-by-side. So I'll let you guys know which one seems to be more efficient. But I recently built these shelves. I've had this forever, so it's still hanging in there. Cold hardy avocado. That's just gonna live in here. You can hear the wind moving. Whoops, sorry guys. But it survived tropical storm winds, so that's a win. And this is the other shelving piece. So the idea is to fill all of those cuttings as they grow and demand more light. You have more space here, and you can progress up before making their way to the ground. And these are sturdy as F, as sturdy as can be. So they were heavy to put in, but totally worth it. And if anyone needs to know one piece of advice, is when you're done, always clean. Always have a clean lab table when you're done, because when you come back the next time, it'll be ready to go. That's a quick little update in October with all the cuttings that I plan to stay cozy through the winter here. And I'm going to scale these bottom two shelves all with cuttings, whether they're varieties from my tree, my trees mostly, because I'm doing a lot of research on what's going to grow best in the Southeast, what tastes best in the Southeast, and what I think everybody should have in their orchard or garden or yard or what have you. That's a quick update. It's my small inventory that are still awake. But there you go. It's a quick orchard tour. Something not fig related, my loquat tree. They grow all year round down here. And we are in zone 8A, border 8B, because we're so close to the coast. I live on the coast, so we have a boat ramp in the neighborhood here in the Wilmington area. And then back out to the orchard here. That'll need some TLC and heavy pruning. There you go, guys. I'm gonna go inside, eat these figs, and drink some more coffee. Cheers.